Good morning, everyone. Good morning, parents and carers. Good morning, Whole Beach staff. And most importantly, good morning, Year 6. Congratulations on your Leavers Assembly today. I'm so sorry that I can't be there in person, but as you know, I have a treatment scheduled, which means that I won't be available on Wednesday. I popped in to see my class in person on Friday afternoon just to say one final good luck and farewell. And I decided to pre-record this message to be played this morning. So I'm pleased to be with you in some capacity. Right, the day has finally arrived. 6L, congratulations, you've done it. Class of 2024, and it's now time to say goodbye to Whole Beach and move on to the next level. But before you do go, some time to reflect on the past year. And what a year we've had. Cast your minds back to September. I think you were maybe worried that you had got yourself a pretty strict teacher. Most of you had only ever been to see me when you needed a sort of telling off in year 5. I would say that was probably about 90% of you, or maybe closer to 85, just joking. But I'm hoping that you realise fairly quickly that I wasn't the strict teacher that you expected. I was a teacher that enjoyed chatting, probably a bit too much. I was a teacher who had a good knowledge of roadman slang, much to your frustration. And I was a teacher who was probably more interested in hearing about your hobbies and your pets than I was worrying about whether or not you could recall your times tables. No cap. We quickly formed a strong bond, and I loved being your teacher this year. It was my delight to watch you grow in a million different ways, and grow you did. I was thinking of a word that would sum you up, sort of a standout word that I thought you'd all made huge progress with, and the word I came up with was fearlessness. And I've watched you never be afraid to do the following things: to be fearlessly honest about your imperfections, to fearlessly make mistakes, to fearlessly laugh at yourself, which is a really important trait, and lots of you have learned that this year, to fearlessly lose gracefully and fearlessly win gracefully, to fearlessly share your worries. Please don't stop sharing your worries. It's really important. So please continue being fearless in that way. To fearlessly try and try again when you find tasks difficult. To fearlessly repair fractured friendships when they broke down with each other. To fearlessly keep your chins up when you heard unexpected, unsettling news about me, your class teacher. There really was no end to your fearlessness, and please always remember to take that power of fearlessness with you through your life. We had a wonderful 6 months together, but March meant an abrupt end to our lovely journey. Shocking news came for all of us, and I was really heartbroken to leave you. I'm going to take this moment just to say thank you to Mrs. Mills, Mrs. Robertson, and Mr. Morris for stepping in at this point to ensure that your education carried on uninterrupted. I'd also like to say thank you to you, Mr. Bulpett, for making sure that that happened so seamlessly. And I can't mention thank yous without mentioning Miss Crichton, who worked with us as our class support staff from September to March. Her tireless work with the phonics groups in particular made a huge impact on the reading and writing skills for all of you, not just in 6L but across the whole of the Year 6 year group. And last but by no means least, Miss Wright and Mr. Greaves, who did an incredible job of running Year 6 with part of the original OG teaching team missing. Thank you all so much. It's incredible to be part of such a supportive team. Back to you now, 6L. Fearless isn't the only word that popped into my mind when I was thinking about you. You'll be shocked to learn. You're talkative, you're wriggly, you're nosy, you're argumentative, you're opinionated, you're really nosy, you're really talkative, you're really opinionated, really wriggly, really nosy. You get the gist. In fact, I don't think I've ever had so many questions about my personal life from one class. You've kept me entertained since the very first day. And I'm going to share a few moments that stand out in my mind from the year. Khalifa, the first one involves you and what you said when we were on a trip. So the class had just entered the pedestrian subway that takes you from Catford Bridge station under the main road to the bus stop that's opposite Catford Bridge train station. And I overheard Khalifa say to his classmates, "Oh my God," just as we were entering the tunnel, "Oh my God, Miss Lynch is taking us into the hood." And it made me laugh. Kyle, then a story about you when you lost what I would imagine must have been about 20 litres of blood during the worst nosebleed that I've ever encountered in my entire career when we got to the Petrie Museum on another educational visit. We just arrived at the Petrie, your nose started bleeding and it didn't stop for 30 minutes. And at one point, Miss Crichton and I thought we were going to have to phone an ambulance, but we eventually managed to get it under control, and you acted as if nothing had happened. We were exhausted. And then on the same day, it was a very dramatic day. On the same day, Dylan, I can remember your face when we were at the tube station. Miss Crichton took the class onto the tube train, and just as about half the class were on the train, the tube train driver decided to close the doors with Dylan still in the doorway. I think it was you, Tristan, that saved his life that day and pulled him through the doorway, leaving half the class on the platform with me and the other half of the class on the train with Miss Crichton, and the train then departed the station. A very eventful day. Amira, then you pop into mind as well on another educational visit when we went sketching to central London, and as you were sketching one of the skylines, you dropped your sketchbook into the River Thames and off it floated down the Thames. You threw your pencil in, I think, afterwards, just in case there were any fish that wanted to do any sketching. And it was everyone else's face when that happened. They all looked at each other and then they looked at me. So another really amazing memory. And then finally, Ralphie, all I'm going to say, Ralphie, is please keep a safe distance from ancient artifacts when you go on educational visits at secondary school. That's all I'm going to say, Ralphie. I don't need to say any more, do I? Our trips were very eventful, as you may have gathered. Being your teacher meant that I too had to be fearless on many, many occasions. You really are all a tiny bit bonkers, and you really did make me laugh every single day. This is where it gets a little bit sad because I really wish we had more time together. I will really miss you. I really hope your secondary schools understand fully what wonderful little human beings you are. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of how far you've come. I'm so proud of how much you were willing to trust me and help you make that progress this year. No glazing, no cap. I could honestly talk about you all day, but I think we'd be the only ones who would appreciate that. I know we'll meet again really soon, so this isn't goodbye, bet. It's a good luck and a see you soon. You're all off in different directions. It won't be long before you're wearing your new uniforms, but remember, you're going on to the next level like little superheroes. You might have a sparkly new uniform on the outside, but underneath you'll be wearing your Whole Beach uniforms on your hearts, because you'll always, always be a Whole Beach child, and there will always, always be a warm welcome here for you. Go and be the little stars that I know you are. I'll never forget you. My skibbity riz class, bet. All our love and luck from Miss Lynch and Frankie. Say bye, Frankie.